Today we're at Austintown Park here in Austintown, Ohio with the 11th annual Street Scene Car and Bike Show. And with me, co-hosting today, Krista Sylvester.
Hey,
Krista, welcome.
I'm glad to be back.
Why, what a beautiful day, huh?
It's a beautiful day. A guy that came in goes, "The sun gods have blessed us today." I said, yes, they have. It's a great day.
You know, it's nice we're on the grass here.
It's
and
so
everything.
nice.
What a perfect day for a car show, I'll tell you. And the monies go where the monies go.
The Veterans Outreach, which is really great. It's a great cause, and everybody is really excited to be donating towards it. Everybody's been really gracious, so we're very thankful for that.
Yeah, we're charging like $10 to get in.
Yep.
It all goes to the veterans, and some people are handing us 20s and saying, just keep it, just keep it. So
Yeah.
I'm a veteran myself, so it feels good.
Absolutely.
Yes,
well,
it does.
it's going to be a great day.
Yes, it is. What do you think?
I think we should go in and check it out.
That's my line. That's my line. With me, I have the star of the show here, the guy who put the whole show on.
No, that would be everybody else. Thank God for everybody else, because I kind of threw it in their lap this year. So, but it looks like, from what I just pulled in, we're almost packed. So we're almost out. But again, this all goes to Veterans Outreach. So every penny we get raised from raffle items, money, registrations, everything goes. I can't wait to see how much Veterans Outreach is going to get.
They're going to do pretty well. Some people were coming in at what's like a $10 admission, and they were giving us $20 and saying, keep it, keep it. So
It's good. That's what we want. This is all for a good cause. This is not all about Armstrong. This is not all about street scene. This is about Veterans Outreach, and that's why we're doing this.
I call Greg the father of street scene because he's the one that really started it, and then he got me on board, and we've been doing it, what, 15 years now, and we've been doing this show, what, 11 years now.
Well, I have to remember, you know, when I started this job, the guy behind the camera,
Jim.
that was one of my first ideas, so Jim was a lot to do with it as well.
Yeah. He's here with him.
Yeah.
He was here with me last year.
Yep.
He's here with me. We're giving him double duty this year. So.
Yeah, I know. Well, you know, he retired, and I have to pull him back every year because nobody can replace him.
I
So,
didn't think he was that old.
well, and nobody thinks you're that old either.
Yeah,
You're like, what, 95?
70, man, 70.
You're
70.
young.
70. So what a nice turnout today.
Yeah, I'm so happy to see this, and I hope this continue to grow every year. Try to make it better every year, you know.
everybody. I'm here with Tim with his 56 Ford, and I saw this instantly, had to come over and talk to you about it. I'm a truck girl at heart, so I just absolutely adore it. Tell me about it. You started to tell me where it came from. It was a supervisor's truck way back in the day?
The truck spent its first 23 years in Yellowstone National Park. It was a park supervisor's truck, and it was brought home in 1979 whenever the Yellowstone Park Company, which was the original vendors at Yellowstone, they lost their contract with the federal government, and a school teacher from Pittsburgh that was working there in the summer bought the truck and drove it home from Yellowstone. And he had it for a couple of years, sold it to a Napa guy who had it for a couple of years, who sold it to another guy who had it for 1 year. We're like the fourth owner. Okay. We completely tore it down to the last nut and bolt, completely redid the frame. It's all on air ride now, all new running gear, but the motor is a 1958 312 Y block. And the motor gets a lot of attention because it's not a Coyote, it's not a Chevy, you know, it's of the era, just not the original motor. The original motor was a 272, this is a 312.
This is a very unique vehicle, absolutely, and I love the stance, by the way. You know, they call it slammed, you know, as it is on bags. What made you want to buy it, you know, and do all the work to it that you did?
Well, the wife and I were both born in '56, and we've always wanted a '56 Ford. And when we ran across this one on Craigslist in the original condition that it was in, we just couldn't pass it up. And so we took 7 years to get it to where it's at now. Portage Trim did the interior. Garasich Customs in Pittsburgh did the paint. The wife and I did all the suspension and the air ride and all the modifications to the frame, and did the bed. We did all the assembly. We just had it painted, and we put it together mostly. So it's been a 7-year project, and we just love it.
I love that you love it, and I love that you did it together. I think that's really special, and hopefully, I mean, you're not going to sell this. You're going to hold on to this thing forever and ever together, right?
Yeah, we hope so. Yeah, we hope so.
It's wonderful. What's your favorite thing about it? I mean, obviously the year has, you know, symbolism to you, and it means a lot. But what is your favorite thing about this car? What if someone was looking at buying this truck? What would you tell them?
Wow, that's a tough one. My favorite thing about it, of course, it's a Ford. It's of the year we were born. A couple of my neighbors had 56 Ford trucks way back in the early 70s when I was 16, 17 years old, and I wanted their truck, but I just, you know, couldn't get it. But, you know, I mean, it's everything on it is like brand new. It's got air conditioning. It drives like a new car. It's just a joy to take down the road, and it's a good conversation piece.
Absolutely. Well, it made me come over and want to have a conversation with you. So thank you very much. I really appreciate you bringing it out today, and I hope you win something because it's absolutely gorgeous.
Well, thank you very much. It's our first time here, and this is quite a turnout.
Yeah, they actually, so they told us while we were at the start there that they had 325 applications and they were gone. So there's probably about 350 cars, 350 vehicles here, maybe more. So it's a great day, and we're happy that you came out. Thank you so much.
Very nice talking to you.
I'd like to introduce you to our newest podcaster, John Lesagonich. How's it going, John?
It's going good, and I'm going to tell you, Rick, I am totally amazed of this show. I had no idea it was going to be this big.
You're a newbie with us.
Well, not with car shows, but one this big, in every type of car, Volkswagens and Corvettes. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful, and the weather.
Nice day. Huh?
Oh, come on, couldn't have been nicer. So I am impressed. Going to be judging the motorcycles.
Okay.
And I told some of the motorcycle riders that even if they buy me a steak sandwich, it has no...
I'm looking for the people who brought the beer. Nobody brought beer. At least they're not telling me anyway.
But I appreciate it. I think I'm going to have a good time, and it's absolutely great.
John's our newest co-host on our podcast, which we're on a little hiatus right now since Greg's got a hip replacement. He just had a hip replacement, and then he's going to have another one later on. So we're going to probably be on another hiatus again. So tell us a little bit about you, John, so people know you.
Well, you know what? And I was just talking to somebody. I've been a resident of the area my entire life. Okay. Retired Motorcycle Safety Foundation instructor, always been a biker, always been a car guy. And I was trying to explain to guys that what exactly is a car guy. And I'm the type of guy that I find the cars, I fix them, I drive them, I enjoy them, then I flip them to get a different car. So although I've had many, I don't have the money or the space to keep them all. So I've been in the car scene my entire life. Love every car, is kind of a Volkswagen guy, but I do drive a Corvette.
Yeah, you got a Corvette today. Yeah, I saw that.
And I just picked up a 54 Ford.
Yeah,
So
I thought you were going to drive that. What?
Well,
Four-door sedan.
Yeah, I was, but I got to test it out a little bit.
Okay.
I just don't know. But basically, I'm, like I said, a resident of the area my entire life. Retired U.S. Department of Labor. I worked for OSHA, was an inspector. Like mechanics, like combustible engines, and trying to prep myself for the new electric cars. I don't know how we're going to do that.
Hey, at our age right now, we might not see many of them, but I think we're going to start more and more and more.
Right. But
I'm up to open things. I like the new things, you know.
You have to be, and I can't thank Armstrong and Street Scene for inviting me to the podcast. It's a blast.
Sure.
We got some great guests. And I look forward to future podcasts.
We're going to start back up here in another month or so.
It'll be
we'll
fun.
get you. What's John? John and I and Greg, we're on Armstrong, we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on iHeartRadio, Buzzsprout, and all that stuff. So we're quite a bit. We're all over the place with our podcast. So thanks, John.
Oh, no problem. Thank you.
With me, I have Terry Jones from Hermitage, Pennsylvania, on the other side of the border there. How's it going?
Well, pretty good.
Terry's got this 64 Fairlane, huh?
Correct.
Tell me about this thing. You got the high-performance engine in there?
It's got a special engine. It's just got a big higher compression ratio than a normal car.
Okay.
So it's a little faster.
That was faster back then, yeah.
Right. It's not. It wasn't a hypo. You know, the souped-up one with the solid lifters. So.
I understand you just got this thing too, not long ago.
I bought it last winter up in New York. Built in New York, about east of Buffalo.
What did you have before this?
1964 Ford Falcon. I had that for 15 years. And I got in a little accident last winter.
Someone put a tree in front of you?
Yeah, somebody put a tree in front of me.
Those damn trees, huh?
And I decided, I waited a while and decided I wanted a Fairlane, so I looked online for probably almost a year before I found this up in New York.
You got a lot of paperwork with this too, huh?
Yeah. It's got an album with it, a photo album of all the restoration and all the receipts since the car was new.
Since it was new. That's 64. That's what you're talking, what?
50 years. 50, 60 years. Yeah.
60 years. Wow. Just to keep up with that, that's amazing, huh?
Yeah.
Some people really love this car. Now it's your turn.
Yeah, well, I've walked around. It's the only one here.
Yeah.
There's not another Fairlane here.
So what other model is this? A Fairlane, then what else is there?
I really don't.
Is there a Comet? Is a Comet the same thing?
That's a Mercury.
That's a Mercury, but
Yeah.
it's a sister.
This is a Ford.
Brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I saw a Comet here. It looked similar to this, right?
There's a red Cyclone down there. It's
okay.
a 66.
That's what you had before, right?
Right.
A Cyclone.
Right.
Okay.
Comet Cyclone.
And they're sisters, like.
Right. I restored that. I had it for 20 years, and I got tired of looking at it.
Time to move on.
Yeah. Sold it and bought the Falcon.
So how's this running for you?
Real good.
Good.
Needs a little tune-up once in a while, but that's about it.
You spinning the tires on this and everything, burning out the tires.
I don't think it'll burn the tires. It might chirp them.
How fast is this for you? How fast you go? What's the fast? My favorite question on my show is how fast have you had it?
80.
80?
Yeah.
Any more pedal?
Huh? Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, it'll go faster than that. Speedometer reads 120, so
Okay.
I don't get it up that high.
With me at Street Scene, also he's like one of our staples here, is Guy Shively. Guy's got graphics in Austintown. How's it going?
Oh, so far so good.
So far?
See a lot of people I haven't seen in a while, which is nice.
A lot of cars out here. I said, who did you pinch on it? Guy did it. I said, yep, I see his signature back there. So,
Yeah, these are the people that keep me employed. God bless them.
You staying busy?
Oh yeah, lots to do that time of year.
I remember the last time I was talking to you a couple weeks ago or so, you said, boy, I'm packed here, and you had them outside. I seen you on Facebook. That's
Well,
what
I finally started this up 2 days ago. That's how bad. All good, you know, whatever. So yeah, and it made it here. So.
got this 1932 Franklin
Airman.
Airman. This is amazing. This is like this. You shouldn't be on the road with this. You should be in the museum and just.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
It's an Airman supercharged. It was the only one that they supercharged.
It's a supercharged too.
Yeah, in 32 they made them supercharged.
I thought the Duesenbergs were the only ones who were supercharged. No.
This is all with air. Air blows it into the supercharge. And
so it's called an Airman, right?
Airman.
Okay, because there's no radiator.
No radiator.
It's all air cooled.
Air cooled.
Very cool. Very cool. What, is that a Franklin engine?
Yeah, that's all. Franklin made the whole thing, the car.
Okay. Because a lot of manufacturers back then, they would do the body style. It's just a Franklin body style.
Franklin, he made them up in Syracuse, New York.
Okay. Because like Duesenbergs, they would do everything, then they would
Right.
drop another
They'd
body
have another
on it.
body on it.
Right. This is a massive car. What a beautiful car.
I'm curious about where did you even find it? I mean, they're so rare, you don't see them at all. Where did you find it?
Actually, I found it at the Carlisle Falls meet in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, and I looked at it then. I got a Lincoln kind of like this, a 31 Lincoln, and I looked at it. Somebody said, "That's me. You better buy that car." And I looked at it, and I didn't really want it then, and I called the guy about it. We took the phone number, and I called him a day later, and he said it was sold. And then he called me back 2 days later on a Tuesday and wanted to know if I was one of the guys who inquired about it, and I said yes. And he says, where do I live? I said, by Youngstown. And he said, oh, he's in New Middletown.
Oh, okay.
And the car was still on the trailer. He brought it home. He said, "You want me to?" I said, "I'll come down and look at it again." And then went down, looked at it, and made a deal with him. And he brought it home that night to my place. It was all pieces. And
Oh, it was in pieces?
oh yeah,
okay.
oh yeah, it was in pieces. It wasn't even all there.
Oh wow.
So
Yeah,
who did all your work for you?
I did all the work on it.
Okay, painted it and everything?
Painted it, everything. Got the stuff re-chromed, new glass, everything. Interior, it was junk.
And where'd you find the parts
I
at?
was just gonna ask that. I gotta imagine it's
Well,
gonna be
there
a
was
little
all over internet. There's not a lot of stuff out there, but I found most everything I needed. You know, from the hubcaps to the headlights to the tail lights. The hardest thing on this was the tail lights to find.
Wow.
I mean, there's some out there.
Did this come with a chauffeur? Did it? It's big enough.
Yeah, you need a chauffeur.
Do you know any history about it? Like who owned it, beginning,
No,
or
I
nothing
don't
like
know
that?
anything.
Wouldn't that be interesting to know? Like some rich movie star owned it or
I don't
something?
know.
Somebody with money owned it.
Actually,
yeah.
the guy I got it off of, he said they called Jay Leno. They thought he might want it, but he already had two.
Oh.
Jeez.
He's got two of them. They're different, air cooled, and back then.
What's your favorite thing about it?
It drives nice. It's a nice driver.
Really?
Yeah, I got a Lincoln, pretty much the same thing, and I got a couple other ones, Model A's, and this one drives better than all of them. Runs pretty good. I go on that tour with the Full Classic boys, different places, and I drive this usually.
No power steering, no power brakes.
No power steering, no power brakes.
What a beast. What size rims are these things?
They're 18 inch.
Oh, those are only
18
18?
inch wheels,
Look
yeah.
at the tires on them. Wow, this is amazing. I love it.
No, they're 19 inch. Pardon me, they're 19.
It's absolutely beautiful. I love the suicide doors in the back. Those are awesome. You have to probably get a lot of people that just stop you dead and want to know more about it. I'm sure people have tried to buy it from you as well.
Yeah, they want to know if you want to sell it.
The truck was purchased from Youngstown in 1952. They purchased 3 of them. They kept them there in different stations 6, 9, and 10 for years. Then in the 80s, they kept it at number 5. That was on Oakland and Superior.
To be honest with you, my most favorite thing, probably a lot of people don't believe, but I love to drive it. I mean, I love to drive the car.
Yeah, it's a Trans Am replica. They only made 8 of the originals, and they're nearly $2 million, and I couldn't afford one, so I had to make one. So
You've got your stock 64 Riviera here.
yeah, short stock.
It was at one time anyway, huh?
Yeah, it was.
How's it going, guys?
Good, sir. How are you?
Very good. How you doing?
Good, Harry. Good.
What a nice day, huh? What a nice day for a car show and everything. So what's bringing you guys out today?
Well, Trooper Crash and myself are here for Safe Communities, which is Mahoning County and the surrounding counties' effort to educate drivers, traffic safety, and things like that.
What's your biggest irk, like, for drivers out there? Like, you say, oh, not this again, not that again, and just what would you do?
Now I'd say with the phones,
Okay.
the phone laws. Like, we've been approached numerous times, obviously, today. And we do have a new law on the books, but mainly distracted driving is so prevalent now. And the new law on the books is that you can't be holding your phone, looking at your screen. It has to be to your ear or on the Bluetooth. So we're making those steps to try to correct that.
You know what? I always think, I know it's a new law now. Are you guys just giving warning tickets right now?
I think warnings you have until October.
Okay. Yeah, but I use mine for my GPS all the time. Sure. I said, these guys are going to pick me up for this? I have it, a lot of times I have it stuck to my dashboard, or I have it in my lap, so I know where the heck I'm going. I still get lost.
Right. Yeah. GPS is permitted, I believe, still under that new one, yeah. But it's just, we see a lot where people do FaceTime, and they'll be holding their phone while they're doing like a FaceTime video.
Right.
So we're trying to cut that stuff out, those huge distractions from the road.
Yeah, that's not good at all.
I've seen people driving and texting, and they're looking down and driving with like their knees. And I'm like, how are you? And they're taking turns while they're on their phone, and I'm like, you guys are. We appreciate all that you do and the fact that you're implementing that, because really as a driver, I try not to look at my phone unless it's GPS or something like that. And it almost happened to me. I looked down for 1 second to hit my GPS, and when I looked back up, somebody had made an illegal U-turn and came in, and I was going about 55 on a straightaway, and I had to dive bomb into the side of the road to get around them. And it's so instantaneous, and people don't realize that, and you have to have that reaction time. And if you're looking at your phone or something, you're not going to have that reaction time. So we appreciate that you're going to stick to that. I mean, I think that's going to upset some people, but you know what? It's going to save a lot of people too, I think.
And then there is a diversion program with that if you do receive a ticket initially for that distracted driving, where through the court there's usually a diversion program where it's education. So like a website, you take a course, and then that first time you won't get points, but then after that it's a pretty hefty fine, so if you're cited twice.
Hey everybody, I'm here with Joey Rossi, and he called me before he brought this thing out, and he goes, should I bring this? And I said, are you kidding? We have to see this. And I had no idea what to expect, I have to be honest with you. This is so cool. Tell me about it.
The truck was purchased from Youngstown in 1952. They purchased 3 of them. They kept them there in stations 6, 9, and 10 for years. Then in the 80s, they kept it at number 5. That was on Oakland and Superior. Well, after that, it got too old, so they surplused it, had it in our shop. So in 90, the fire chief at that time, he said, we're going to start an honor color guard. So he put me in charge of the honor color guard. Excuse me. So we started that, and the truck needed a lot of work. So we see what we could do. Me and about 6 other guys from the department went and had Chaufin do the body work. Mako painted it. Cyclone did the seats, and the city street department gave us tires and the battery. So that's how we started it, and we kept it there to then. And then in 2018, they decided to surplus it the city. So they sold it to an avid collector in Culpeper, Virginia, and we called him back. The 2 other guys are in with me is a Rich Russo, used to be a battalion chief, and Bobby Russo, who's a retired deputy. Their dad, Rocky Russo, actually rode on this truck at Station 6 as a firefighter, and his actually last ride, his funeral was on this truck. So we brought it back to Youngstown. This is just how it was. We didn't do nothing to it yet, but I just thought it's nice to get out and show people and maybe take it to some special events and maybe a Make-A-Wish Foundation or something like that. So.
Sure. I'm really glad that you brought it out. I mean, it had to be an interesting ride too. First off, it doesn't come with a roof, you mentioned. There's a lot of other things that obviously new vehicles have and this doesn't. But it has such an interesting story, and I'm so glad that you snagged it, that you brought it, you and your partners. What's your favorite thing about it?
I think just the old school feeling when you're on it, because it has no power steering, no power brakes, and it's a Detroit diesel, which is very, very loud. But like I was telling you, the siren is a mechanical siren. You have to hit a foot pedal. And the captain at that time, there's a bell here that rings. There's a rope inside the cab, and that's how the captain would let people know they were coming.
As if the engine wasn't loud enough.
It was loud enough, but nobody knew. And emergency lighting was really, back then, was prehistoric. They didn't have the things they have now, but everything still works on it, and we're just glad to have it back to see who we could and make their day either for a ride, Make-A-Wish Foundation for a child, or just somebody to come and sit in it.
It's awesome. I mean, I'm so glad that you did that, and I think that's such a great use for it as well. And keeping it local too. That's always great. And I have to tell you, are you going to ring the bell? Do you want me to ring the bell? Because I have to hear it. I have to hear this. All right, just pull it.
Straight up.
I have to go up. All right, are we ready? That's loud.
That is loud.
Well, we really appreciate you bringing it out. I mean, it's such a unique thing, and I'm so glad that you called and asked about it, because I would have been upset if I would have heard that you didn't bring it and found out that you had it. So thank you so much. It's incredible, and I can't wait to see what you do with it.
All the way from North Benton, Ohio, we got Aaron Hall here with his 1969 Firebird convertible clone.
Yeah, it's a Trans Am replica. They only made 8 of the originals, and they're nearly $2 million, and I couldn't afford one, so I had to make one. So
tell me, they made 8 original Trans Ams. Convertibles in '69. That was the first year they did first year they did the Trans Am.
First year for the Trans Am model.
Okay. And they made 8 of them. And they're where are they at?
Yeah, there's the Brothers Collection out west. They have 4 of them tied up, and Dana Meekums owns one, and the others are well known of the convertibles. There was 8 convertibles, 691 of the coupes. Yeah.
So what's so special about the convertibles? What engines in them?
Well, they all had the 400 engine in them. So yeah.
Were they Ram Air or anything like that?
Yeah, they were all Ram Airs, and you could even get a Ram Air 4 model in the coupes. But all the convertibles were all Ram Air 3s, and they all were white. You can only get them in one color.
Like this.
That's it.
And you call this number 8, number 9.
Yeah, I call this one number 9 because it's a tribute or a replica.
Okay.
But
you got the 350 in this 4-barrel.
Yeah. This is just the original engine, VIN number match. We didn't change it, but we just like the white with the blue stripes and the Trans Am look, and the spoiler on the back. That's special. And the side scoops.
What was it like when you got it?
It was a pretty nice car. It was originally sold in Oklahoma, so it wasn't too rusty, but I did put a pair of quarter panels on the back and small patches in the bottom of the front fender, but other than that, the original floors, we did a full nut bolt restoration on it. Took the car all down, cleaned it up.
How about the color? Original color? Besides the stripes?
Well, no, this car was originally a green, but we wanted the Trans Am, so it had to be the cameo white.
Right. Did you notice, like, when you made the clone, does it bring more money like that?
We didn't build it to resell it. We built it because we love the car.
You and your son, right?
Yeah, we're not going to sell it.
Where's he at? He should be getting all the glory, huh?
Yeah. So, I don't know. I'm a paint body guy, so I did most of the work. We worked together. It was fun teaching him. He knows a lot now.
It looks good. How's the ride for you?
Oh, they ride and drive like a modern car.
Yeah.
They're not,
Get up and go?
Yeah, it runs pretty good. I don't know, maybe in the future we'll do some more adjustments to make it faster. Maybe put an overdrive tranny in it and change the rear gear to make it even quicker. But it's just a nice cruiser. They're not race cars like today.
Yeah, it's a beauty. I saw you down where I see you down in Salem.
Yeah.
And I just like fell in love with it. Like, oh my God. I wasn't sure. I don't know much about it. I just picked one up myself. I wasn't sure about them. And I'm like, oh gosh, that's nice. I like it. I love it. You don't see many of them around, especially the convertibles. You see a lot of Camaros, which is a sister of that. It's like before I had a Mercury Cougar, and you see a lot of the Mustangs, which is a Mustang. Different covers on it, but all the parts, I can get Camaro parts for some of this stuff,
Yeah, you see way more Camaros than you do the Pontiac Firebird.
But as I understand it, the Firebird, they call it the first gen Pontiac Firebird, okay? But it's different than the 67, 68, right? The body style's a little different.
Yeah, there's not too much that'll interchange between the two.
So this is like a one body style here, right?
Yeah, they were 1 year only, the 69s. It's a shame they didn't make them more years, but...
Yeah. That's good. I think that's good for resale one day.
Yeah, but they're hard to find nice ones.
Yeah, oh yeah. You got a nice one here. Thank you very much for showing us your car. What a beauty. Thanks for showing up, okay?
Thank you.
Take care of it.
It's always fun.
Okay.
Enjoyed the show always.
Hey everybody, I'm here with Kurt, and Kurt has this beautiful 1969 Camaro. I had to come over and look at it. I said it was like SEMA show quality. And you just mentioned that you did almost all this work yourself. Tell me about it.
Yes, ma'am. It started out, it's regular 350, but it's got a small cam in it, so it's a little bit quicker. Everything is fuel injected. It's got cutouts on it. It's just a lot of meticulous detail. The mirrors all over show off quite a bit of the work that I've done to it, and it's a blast.
It looks like it is, and I love the mirrors because it really, you can tell obviously you don't take this out in the rain or anything like that, because you look underneath, it looks like it's brand new.
I've got a lift in the garage, so if I get caught in the rain, it'll always clean up. Yeah.
Now, what made you want to go after this? I mean, did you have to do a lot of work when you bought it? First off, what made you buy it? And secondly, did you have to do a lot of work to get it to this state?
Well, first of all, when I was a kid, I couldn't afford something like this. And it was something that I always wanted and something that I just thought was fantastic. So when I was old enough that I could afford it, then I went ahead and bought it. Sure. It was nothing like this. This came out of Indianapolis, PA. And it looked nothing like this. I had my body guy take it for the winter time, and it had a bunch of little nicks and just general spots in it. And I told him that I want it perfect when you're done with it. And he said, all right, but I'm gonna have it for the winter. And I said, that's fine, you're free storage. So anyways, that's how that went away. And he did all of the, did all the little nicks and things that were in it, and then found an exact paint match for it, painted it, and then cleared it. So that's how it ended up being like this. Rebuilt the motor. It is a true Astro air ventilation car, so it is a true AC car, which most of the guys, when they do them like this, take all that off.
Sure.
So I've got more plans for it for this winter. It's going in the garage, and it's going to be completely different. It's going to the next level next summer.
Do you want to share the details?
Not really.
Okay, I'll wait till next year, and I'll come find you next year, and we'll talk about it. So a question about this car too is a lot of people don't want to get involved with older vehicles because of reliability, and they want to go new.
This thing wherever I wanted to go, I would drive it. I brought it here in a trailer because I'm 70 miles away, but it's very dependable, very reliable. The fuel injection makes it that way. It helps. I get a whole whopping 10 miles to the gallon. So
who's counting?
Yeah, that's at this point, when you have cars like this, you don't worry about gas mileage.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, it's just a fun car to drive.
Well, good. I'm so glad that you talked to us about it, and you offered to start it up, and I cannot turn down that offer. So I would love to hear you fire this thing up so we can hear this.
With me, I have Greg Hauk from Wintersville, Ohio. How's it going?
Real good. Real good. Glad to be here. Beautiful day.
Thank you for showing up. What a beauty you got here, huh?
I appreciate that.
Yeah. What is it, a 23?
23 altered street rod. Yeah. It's got a 572 cubic inch big block Chevrolet, about 745 horsepower. Yeah, it's 700 R4 automatic transmission, 3-speed with overdrive, and 9-inch Ford rear end, strange rear end, custom rear end. Yeah. Weighs about 1,900 pounds.
That's it.
That's it. Weighs about 2,150 with me in it, I guess. Yeah.
You ever have any fun with that engine? How fast?
No. People ask me how fast it goes, and I say, a lot faster than I'll ever go in it.
I don't know if I trust it, like going 100 or something.
Yeah.
It'd be scary.
I had it going 100 maybe, but yeah.
How's it handle going 100?
It's like driving, I don't know if you've ever been to like a go-kart track, drive the go-karts. Yeah. It's exactly like that. Exactly. Okay. Straight as an arrow, and touch a steering wheel and it's gone. Yeah.
Wow. That's incredible. Did you do all this yourself? Did you buy it like this? Kind of tell us the backstory.
Pretty much did it all myself. Yeah.
That's incredible. How long did it take you?
30 years.
And a lot of money, huh?
Well spent.
Just a chrome alone,
right? You'll never get back out of it. It's just cars like it's just got to be something that you want. Yeah, you like to do and you want to do it, and and it takes time over time to put it all together. It's not always been like this, so. It just takes time and money, obviously.
I love when people go try to sell a car and they said, well, I want 50 grand for it because I got 50 grand in it. And they go, hey, but you're not going to get that out of it unless you got something really special.
Exactly. A friend of mine just bought a car. The guy had 225 in it, and he bought it for $80,000. So
wow, I've heard of that before.
Yeah. Just and especially a car like this. A lot of people don't appreciate it. I mean, I have people come by here that'll stand here for 30 or 40 minutes, and then I got people walk by and act like it's not even here. It's just one of those kind of cars.
You got a lot of details into this,
Oh yeah. People ask me, do you have a lift at home? And yeah, obviously I do. Yeah.
Well, I saw you coming in off the trailer. First, I saw the trailer point, and I said, all right, I want to see what comes out of this thing. And then you rolled out, and I went, oh, we need to talk to him. I just knew. I mean, and the show quality of it, you could have someone that's a great builder, right? But they don't have the eye to put it together like this.
Right, yeah.
And I mean, this is. I said this once about another vehicle that was similar to this. It's SEMA show quality. I mean, with the mirrors and everything, it's absolutely gorgeous.
That's a dream of mine. That's something I'd like to do.
You gotta bring it there.
Yeah. I believe it's one of a kind.
Sure it is.
I mean, I'm not bragging, but I just it's my car and what I got in it, and actually I'm building another motor for this car, which will go in this winter, which
Bigger?
is it's a 572. I'm building an all aluminum 632 cubic inch with a 1071 supercharger.
So
on
it'll
it.
make this thing light. It'll make this lighter yet then.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Lighter
Well,
and faster.
yeah.
Lighter
And
and faster.
the engine will stick up just a little couple inches above the windshield. So, and that's I'm done. Done. When I get that.
So you say, huh?
I'm done. I'm
It's
all
a sickness
done.
that we all have. We're like, no, we're not going to do any more than. But one more little tweak won't hurt.
Right. Right.
What's your favorite thing about it that's custom? Obviously, there's a lot of custom on it. What's your favorite thing?
You know, to be honest with you, my most favorite thing, probably a lot of people don't believe, but I love to drive it. I mean, I love to drive the car. And I try to drive it every weekend. Now, I'll take it home and take it out of the trailer, and I'll take a little ride before I put it away, you know, just it might be a longer ride. It might be 30 minutes, it might be 2 hours. So, but it is just so much fun to drive.
With me, I have Lee Majornick from Canfield, Ohio, and his 1956 Plymouth Fury.
Yes, Plymouth Fury. Yeah, I bought the car when I was 16 years old, my first car.
A couple of years ago, huh?
A couple of years ago, yeah. It was back in 1960. It was 4 years old when I bought it, and had it ever since. I've done a lot of work to it over the years. I could never go fast enough with it, so I eventually cut the front end off, put an I-beam axle, straight axle, got it chrome plated, put a 426 street Hemi in it.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, engine, transmission, 430 positive traction rear end, and I was working on the steering, and I met my wife-to-be, didn't know it at the time, and of course, you know, as they say, the rest is history. So the car sat for years and years and years, and I decided to redo it. So
back to stock.
Put it back to stock. And of course the frame was shot. My brother was in Arizona probably 30 years ago, and he towed back a 56 Plymouth four-door sedan that had a frame that was brand new basically. And had to change the motor mounts. That was the only thing, because this car had
It fit right up to it.
all the mounting points are identical. The only difference, Rick, was the fact that the 6-cylinder had a horseshoe type motor mount, and this one had motor mounts on the side, the right and the left bank of the engine. And so I completely rebuilt it, had it on a rotisserie, and been working on it for about 10 years. And the last 3 or 4 years really in earnest. This is the only color you can get this car in, eggshell white. It's a very limited edition car. My car had the 4-barrel, and you could get the 4-barrel or 2 4-barrels. Mine had the 4. No power steering, no power brakes. Kind of a weird sensation when you drive these today, especially.
Looks like a comfortable car, though, huh?
It's very comfortable, but especially with bias ply tires. They're not what radial tires are. But I wanted to keep it as original as I could. But the interior is all the original, not original, but the type of interior they had.
Gotcha.
It has a tachometer built in the dashboard, which is
back in '56.
Back in 1956.
Oh yikes! I never heard of that back then.
Yeah, you can see the tachometer. It's a Stewart Werner. Went up to 6,000 RPMs.
Yikes!
Push button and a power flip.
So what are you sporting under the hood?
It's got the original 303. It's a Canadian Chrysler engine. It looks like a 318. Matter of fact, the heads, a lot of parts are interchangeable.
Not the Hemi, though.
No, definitely not the Hemi. This is just the standard. Again, it looks like a 318. And
they did the Hemis back what, early 50s, right?
They did the Hemis. I think the first year for the Hemi was 52, maybe 51. I could be wrong, but somewhere in the early 50s. But
number matching here?
Everything is original. Again, when I say original,
restored to original.
Restored to original, yeah, and probably overdone because the factory probably wouldn't do it this way. The wheel covers are almost impossible to find.
Yeah.
Well, what happened was when I bought the car, it didn't have wheel covers on it.
Okay.
And I went down to Strasbourg, the local Dodge dealer, and bought a set of hubcaps for it. And I put them on. I didn't like them. The picture there shows with the. So I bought a set of Mickey Thompson mag wheels, put them on, and parked the wheel covers. And fortunately for me, because they're impossible to find, I've got a set of 4 brand new hubcaps, wheel covers, and these are aluminum. They're made out of aluminum.
They're stock.
They're stock.
Where'd you find those at?
Well, I bought them from Strasbourg.
Okay,
back in the early mid '60s.
So that's who made those.
Chrysler.
Chrysler made them for
this was an original hubcap for the Plymouth Fury.
Okay.
that was the only wheel cover you could get. Now, they did have wire wheels as an option, but this car had the aluminum slotted wheel covers, which is what you see right there. But
okay, I understand now. Okay, you kind of threw me for a loop there. Okay.
yeah, the underside of the car is as nice as the top side because they had it on a rotisserie, and Frank at Quality Auto Body did the paint on it.
It's a beauty. What else you got coming to your corral? You got something interesting coming.
I actually have a Ferrari SF90 on order, and I ordered that back in November of 21.
Really? It's taken 3 years?
Exactly. Well, it'll be 2 years this November that I've ordered it.
Okay,
right.
yeah, 2
And
years.
I called them in January, called the dealer out of Dublin, Ohio, and they said, well, probably it'll be this fall. And they said mine will be one of the last ones built.
So what year will it be?
I'm thinking of 24.
Okay.
I'm thinking of 24.
So you didn't order, when you ordered it in 21, you're not going to get a 21. You're going to get a
Exactly.
You get a brand new one.
And mine will be one of the last ones built, from what the dealer told me.
Okay.
They stopped production on them. Matter of fact, I ordered in November of 21. They stopped taking orders in December of 21, so I got mine just in time. But it's a great car. It has almost 1,000 horsepower, and it's part electric and part gas, and a convertible, a Spider version.
So it's a hybrid then? Would you call it a hybrid?
Kind of a hybrid. Yeah, you can run it for 25, 30 miles and on electric, and then if you put it in performance mode, it automatically charges itself.
Got your stock 64 Riviera here.
Yeah, sort of stock.
It was at one time anyway, huh?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we got a little carried away, put a big block in it.
A little carried away.
671 blow with dual yellow block carbs, and got power steering, power brakes, over clean, a 4L60 transmission. And I put a 49-inch in the back with 411 gears, 4-link system, got QA1 shocks all the way around. Then we went and did a complete interior on the car. So everything's brand new in the car.
So what was she like when you bought her?
Oh, I was a rust bucket.
Yeah. Where'd you get it at? Around here?
Pennsylvania I bought out of. And then you actually, the quarter panels, the lips on the quarters, that's off. Them are off a 57 Chevy. You could buy replacements for a 57. You can't buy them for this. So I just cut it off and tack welded them in place. And the body guys, Trolios, did all the body work on it for me. They did the matching.
You guys might remember Dan from what, 2 years ago we interviewed you with that 58.
57 Cadillac
57.
Rat Rod.
57 with it had the big horns on the front.
That's right. That's a beautiful car. Actually, I just was out with that Saturday, won first place with that one. So, and this one here is just brand new. Actually, it's probably the first big show it's been at.
So how many horse you pushing out of this thing?
Yeah, well, we're figuring a little bit over 1,000 horsepower. And it runs it like it too, man. You hit this thing, it just plants you in the seat.
You just break. This is what, the second event you had it to, right? And I saw you at what, Greenwood Corvette show last week or two?
I really was trying to save it for this one, but I knew a manager up there, that's why I took it up there first. But this is a great show over here.
Yes, thanks for coming. Thank you for coming. So you're pushing over 1,000 horsepower. How fast have you had it? I know you're still breaking it in. How fast have you had it now?
I'm down my road just to break it in. Probably 100. 100? And that was just touching the gas. I wasn't even in it.
Just
There's
cruising.
enough to scare you. I had to get off it.
It would scare me. I wouldn't even want to be behind the wheel and this thing's sitting here.
It's a crazy thing to ride.
My car got 330 horsepower. That's plenty for me.
It plants you in the seat, I'll tell you that, man. It's crazy.
What a beauty. So you're done with this. You seem like a type of guy who's going to have another project after this.
Of course I am. Yeah, I don't. I'm sort of looking like a 37, 38 Chevy, one of those, but squatted with huge tires, maybe a blower.
What, the business coupe, or is that what they call it?
No, I want the 3 window.
The 3 window, yeah. Those are, I like that style. That's a beautiful style.
But, you know, you got to have something different. A lot of them got it, but I want to do something different with a crazy paint job on it.
You got anything lined up?
I'm looking at a car right now. You know, hopefully I can put a deal together on it. But it's rough, you know, so.
Don't make them too rough. Not back then. You know, you don't know if you can find the parts for them or anything.
No. I mean, the car is together,
Right,
and all the body parts are good.
It's solid.
It just don't have any interior, no motor, none of that stuff. So.
As long as the body's solid, that's all I care about anymore. You know, solid body. You can put a new interior in it, tires in it, motor in it, but you've got to have a good body.
Yeah, exactly.
Good frame too.
Yep, exactly. Well, and this one here, this has got the stock front end, but I chopped it off at the back window and put a new frame in the back so I could put the 18.5-inch wide Mickeys under the back of it. So it's a big.
You plan on putting this on the strip at all?
No, I don't think so. I drag race for years, and once you start there, it's just no going back. It costs a lot of money.
Yeah. Well, this thing probably
like this one's cheap.
Let's talk to some people. Like, we got a lot of people out here watching the show, and they don't realize how much money goes into something like that. For one thing, how much you think you got in that engine?
20.
20 grand, and that's what you doing the work?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you doing. If someone else would do the work?
Probably 40.
About double that, yeah. Everything's always double.
Oh, yeah.
You got about 20 grand in that.
Yeah, just parts and pieces and all the. I mean, you just can't. You got to hunt all the stuff down to make it fit, and everything. Nothing fits, so you got to make it fit. Look at the alternator. I had to turn it backwards to get it in there.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, nobody does.
And it worked.
Oh yeah, they work front. We're going forwards or backwards.
You get big horsepower, it costs you big money.
Yeah.
11th annual Armstrong Street Scene Car and Custom Bike Show. What a success today was, Krista.
Gosh. Today, honestly, was one of the best years yet. They outsold the place.
Yeah.
They packed the house. There were no parking spaces left. It was just,
Isn't that a good feeling?
Great feeling, especially since it goes to such a great cause.
You know what the hardest part is? Trying to find cars. You know, every one of them deserves a trophy here, and then all of a sudden you don't know who's going to get it, you know? And
there were, if you missed the show this year, hopefully you'll watch this on your local TV program or on YouTube, because the cars that showed up this year,
exquisite, very nice, and the people too. What a great atmosphere today.
Yes.
I'll tell you, what a great atmosphere. All the monies go to
Veterans Outreach, which is very cool. So, and there was, I think they knew that. Some of the people that came knew that, because some of the cars that came out were just so patriotic and so awesome. And as always, you know, we thank veterans, and hopefully they'll be really happy with this turnout.
We were asking a $10 donation to get in, and then some people were saying, here, take this, take that, $20, $30. And I said, great. So
yes, absolutely. And I'm always glad to be here. Thanks for having me, Rick.
Chris, it's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure. It's too bad we only have you once a year.
Well, hey, invite me back. I'll come back to the other ones. Anyway.
She's too busy down in Naples.
No, it's wonderful. So, again, this is the 11th Annual Street Scene Car and Custom Bike Show, and we'll see you down the road.
That's my line. Come on, Kristen. What?